Hey, what is up guys? It's been a Designs here with a brand new tutorial. So we're back in action with new videos. I know I've been offline for like 2 months, but I've been creating content on Instagram and also my second channel. I've been doing like vlogs and cinematic videos, but we're back with designing, and today we're going to be learning how to create vector icons in Adobe XD. Usually you would use Illustrator to do vector graphics, but you can also use the pen tool and the basic shape tools in Adobe XD to create simple icons and graphics to use in user interface designs. So let's get right into it. On the screen you can see that I have a few examples ready to go, and we're going to be creating some of them and just show you how we can use basic shapes and also the pen tool to create vector graphics in XD. So the first one is a clock and or analog clock, and we can just go to the circle tool or ellipse tool by clicking on that and then dragging out a circle. So just click and hold Alt or Option and Shift on your keyboard to drag out a circle like this. And then we can select it, click and drag to select, and then let's bump up the stroke. So right now it's at 1, and let's bump it up to 4 pixels so we can see that better. And we can also disable the fill if you want to, like that. And then you can see that there's a second circle inside. So what we want to do is just copy it by hitting Control or Command on your keyboard and C, and then Command and Control V to paste, and then hold Alt or Option Shift on your keyboard and then click and drag inwards like this to create a smaller circle inside, like that. And then now let's zoom in by hitting Control or Command plus on your keyboard. And another key shortcut you want to know is the space bar. If you hold that down, you can see that there's a hand cursor now, and you can click and drag like this to pan around the artboard. We have two options here. We can either use the pen tool or the line tool. So let's go to the line tool first, and then just click and drag down and hold shift so that you keep it aligned vertically, and then let go when you see this blue line. That's basically just saying that you're snapping to the center of this circle. You can zoom in again with Command or Control plus on your keyboard, and we can play around with this. You can select this anchor point, hold shift and drag up to adjust the length if you want. And again, we can bump up the border for this and set it to 4, or reduce it if you want, but that's up to you. And now we want the second line as well. So Control or Command C on your keyboard, Command V or Control V on your keyboard. And then we can go to this rotate property and we could just hit 90 so that we rotate it 90 degrees. And then let's hold shift, drag it down, and then position it like that. So again, make sure it's aligned perfectly like this. And we want one of the lines to be longer for the minute clock like this. And there we go. That's pretty much it. Now let's go to the second one. This is again fairly similar to the first one. So what we can do is just select all the elements and then hold Alt on your keyboard and Shift and click and drag to duplicate this circle or this icon that we created. And then we can just delete the lines in the center by selecting and hitting delete on your keyboard. Then for the play icon, we want to use the triangle tool. So we can go to the toolbar again and then select the triangle. And just click and drag, hold Alt and Shift on your keyboard again to constrain the proportions equally, and then let go when you're comfortable with the size. Then again, we can disable the fill and then increase the stroke or border in the software to 4 pixels like that. And the size is a bit too small, so let's bump it up. Hold Alt and Shift on your keyboard, drag it up like this, and then rotate it. So now we have anchor points, and if you just move your cursor to the corner, you can see this curve or rotation icon. And once you have that, click and drag and hold shift to rotate that like this. And let's just position this in the center. There we go. It's pretty easy. All you're doing is using basic shapes like circles, triangles, and rectangles to create these icons. And one more, I'll show you this one as well. I won't show you the last one because that one was just for fun. It was just like a funny face that I did. But let's go to this location or locator icon that you usually see on maps. And that's fairly easy to do as well. It looks complicated, but it's fairly straightforward. So what we need to do is just go to the ellipse tool and click and drag out a circle. Or what we can do is select this icon or this ring, hold Alt, Option, and Shift and drag it down like this so we have the exact same proportions. Now let's copy the circle again like this, Command V, Command C, and like that to make a second circle inside. Now we need to pull the bottom portion of the outer ring so that we can create this arrow pointing down essentially. So what we can do is just double click on this outer ring, and you'll see these points around this circle, and we want to select the bottom one. Once you have that, hold shift on your keyboard and then use the bottom arrow key on your keyboard to shift that down, and you can bring it down 2 or 3 presses or clicks according to your preference. And then you can either leave it like this and have this rounded like this, or you can make the end portion pointy like this. What we want to do is just double click on this anchor point, and there we go. That's how quick it was. All we had to do was just double click on this bottom anchor point, and it just automatically brought those 2 points together and made it into a point. So hopefully you guys learned some pretty neat tricks in this software. Adobe XD is great, and I know Adobe Illustrator is the best go-to software for vector illustrations and icons and logo designs. But if you don't have Illustrator, or if you just want some basic icons in Adobe XD, then you can use the basic shapes and pen tool in Adobe XD to create these icons. And you saw how simple that was. So hopefully you guys liked this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, also enable the notification so that you know when I upload a new video. So hopefully you guys are ready for your inbox to be spammed with video notifications and just videos in general. But I'm pumped to be back, and I'm sorry about my voice. It's a bit rough right now because I have a sore throat, but no worries about that. I'm always creating content for you guys, so just happy to be back, and hopefully you guys are learning as we go. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.